Welcome to the live stream of the Pakistan versus Indian women World Cup match. It's the first match that's taken place in New Zealand, and it's an exciting game so far. I'm just gonna go ahead and share our link online on our social media at Crickellectuals, so friends who follow us there can join us and come watch the game with us. Let us know in the comments what you think about the game so far. How's it going for you? So far, it is really interesting because, you know, Pakistani women are batting second. So that's that. India set a pretty good total for them. I'm trying to set up my windows to make sure I could see everything. But yes, here's what we have so far. We've got India setting a total of 244 for the loss of seven. Pakistan has to get 245, and so far at the end of the 17th over, they were 47 for one. And it's been a very slow response from Pakistan. It's very much concerning. The game is right now looking very much like India are in the stronger position. They're in the winning position right now. And rightfully so. I mean, the way they've played so far has felt more like a one-day international game. Meanwhile, the way we've played, the Pakistani women, it's been very much like Test cricket. In fact, the run rate, unfortunately, that we're maintaining right now is similar to the run rate that the men's team maintained when they played while they're playing Australia. So in Rawalpindi, that game had a similar um, run rate, which is not good to see here. Um, but Javeria Khan was the first player who was caught out. She actually took 8 overs, or I think it was in the eighth over of the innings that she actually scored her first runs. So, when your opener comes in and spends 7 overs to score a run, that's already a bad sign. And unfortunately, that's how we started. And there've been a couple of boundaries, and for the last 3 or so overs, 4 overs maybe, they did all right. And there we go. Pakistan has just lost another wicket, and she's reviewed it. It was Bisma Maroof, a- and Pakistani captain. So this wicket, if we lose it, is going to be a big one for India. And there's a couple of hitters coming down the order. We have Nidadar still on her way. So if we do lose a wicket here, it won't be the end of the day. But the only problem is that the asking rate now is going to only be climbing, and Pakistani openers have set us up uh, pretty terribly, and it's going to be difficult for the team to recover from here. And this is looking like it's out. Yep, gone. Deepti was the bowler, spinner, caught behind, thin edge. Bottom edge of the bat. Bismillah out for 15 off 25. Bad news with Pakistan. Got my snacks here. Some coconut water. It's late night here in New York. Um, it is 1:06 a.m. So very late for us. But at Crickellectuals, we love to support Pakistan women's cricket, and we, were there when we were watching the Pakistan versus India men's World Cup game. Everybody remembers that from the T20 World Cup. What an exciting game that was, and we wanted to be here for the women too, watching and sharing a little bit of our thoughts. And we're glad we're here. So Amaima Sahel is here. All right. She's got 449 runs. She's scored an average of 22.45 with a strike rate of 65. So uh, decent, decent stats there. She's got a very high bat lift, and even for a spinner. So that should help us at least make contact and not be late. Another outside edge, and the ball's running toward the boundary, but it's been stopped. They've tried to do They've tried to run 3 runs there on that one, and it was a lucky break, I would say. So, besides the wicket, there were 9 runs off the over. So it was a good over for them. The Pakistani women batters look a lot more comfortable against spin than they do against pace bowling. I mean, the first 10 overs when I was watching them were, very concerning. I mean, it was very difficult for the Pakistani batters to, bother the scoreboard at all during that. And the power play was a complete waste. Unfortunately, our women did not really do much during the power play. And as I told you, it took 7.5 to 8 overs. It took Javier Khan that long to actually, you know, get off the mark. I mean, in a one-day international, if our opener takes 7 overs to get off the mark, I think it's time to look elsewhere. I think, you know, with all due respect, Javier can't really open like that in a high-stakes game in a World Cup match. And one thing I've been noticing about some of our women, especially at the top order, is that the feet movement is just not there. It's just almost non-existent. Very static. Moving the bat, but not really moving the legs based on the trajectory of the ball. And there you go, another easy catch off the spin bowling of Rana. There was a slip in place, and um, Omima, who had just been here, edged it straight to the slip. And again, just came the footwork once again. It's really slow. It's like a common theme, common skill lag that I'm noticing across the board so far. Batters are just not moving around or adjusting properly for the ball based on its trajectory. So I think they're playing a little bit too late, and that's the problem. Two caught behinds. Basically, this one was in the slip, but if we're edging the ball, that's telling us that the timing is really off. You know, so now we've got 3 down for 58 in the 19th over. Pakistan's in trouble. And Nidadar's here, though. She's got the experience, she's got the power hitting ability, and she's got the passion for sure, and she's got the cricket brains. Hopefully, she can take the lead from here, and we'll see. We're in the 19th over right now, and we've got a game on our hands, friends. It's a beautiful ground. There's a decent number of people there. and they've screwed it up. Bisma Maroof, they're showing Javeria, they're showing on camera. She's definitely messed it up. Was not a good look. Was not a good showing for Javeria today. All right, so Nidadar is off the mark. She's just taking a single, and we're off. So let's see what happens from here on. It's just been a really, really slow and uh, you know, kind of difficult game for Pakistani batters. I'm very surprised to see this. Just batting straight to fielders. There's no adjustment, you know, late on the feet, slower on the feet, and just not a lot of movement, and also not a lot of improvisation. You know, you would expect um, our women at this level to be able to maneuver the ball a little bit where they want to maneuver it. I mean, everything is being played off the front foot. There's no so far, getting back into the crease, maybe making giving yourself some room, or moving across. Uh, those kinds of things that you like to see when the bowling is really good and you're not able to make any runs. You start to move around the crease a little bit. You start to give yourself room. You try a few new things out so that you can maneuver the ball, even outside of the line that that you would typically play. But we're not seeing a lot of that. So maybe it's pressure also. It's their first game and it's against India. The world is watching. Pakistan needs 185 more runs, and we only have 31 overs left. So the target is 245, and Pakistan is 60 for three, and we're in the 20th over. 20th over just begins. Deepti's bowling. Sana Amin and Nidadar are batting. So the spinners are on, and they've produced 2 wickets so far. Let us know in the comments what you think about the game. Tell us where you're watching from. Drop us a comment. And there's a poll also asking you which team you think is going to win today's game. Share your thoughts. In a one-day international, or in one-day cricket in general, it is really important to start the game on the right foot. And the start was just poor. You know, our batters didn't really, our batters really didn't give us the start that we needed to get to 245. 245 is, in women's cricket has been an acceptable total, and we've seen stronger teams um, get up to 285, 290 often. So the standard of cricket has risen in women's cricket, but I think in Pakistan this is some food for thought. I know there's a lot of talk about raising not only the standard but also creating more opportunities for the Pakistani women to play cricket in Pakistan with shorter gaps. PSL seems to be on the horizon for them too. I think PSL in the case of women is going to be a really important um, fixture for the women, because there's a few reasons for that. One, obviously, with the PSL comes um, a bigger audience. You have more casual fans joining, and they want to watch. It's a shorter game. It's easier to watch if you're a casual fan. You know, it's it's definitely better. You would definitely prefer watching a T20 over any of the longer versions of the game, given given the duration differences. So you'll definitely the women's cricket will definitely get more exposure because of that. And now that we're seeing how some of our batters are playing, um, it will also hopefully lead to a game that has more aggression in it. T20 is known for that. T20, if you want to do well in T20, you have to play a certain type of cricket. You have to play fast. You have to play aggressively, and you can't waste too many balls. Um, and that is gonna be good for Pakistan cricket. Pakistani women, they are not playing according to the demands of the game and according to the demands of the format. And so far, based on this game and based on what we've seen so far, and playing that T20 league is gonna push many of our women cricketers to, you know, step up the run rate, put their foot on the gas, try different shots, play aggressively, you know, build some strength around power hitting, and that that can only be helpful based on what we're seeing here, right? So lots of maiden overs from India. Got to give India the credit too. The women are bowling really well. They're not making it easy, and the Pakistani women certainly have struggled with finding the gaps today. It's a nice sunny day out there. It's a beautiful day, it looks like. And we're back to Test cricket. Um, you know, Amin is playing right now. She's on 29 off 61 balls. That should tell you where we're at right now. You know, oh, another edge, but lucky. She tried to play across the line on the leg side against the spin. The ball went up. The keeper couldn't reach it, and they took a single. So another kind of a lucky break there, but at least we got a run out of that. So 67 for three at this point, and Pakistan needs 178 runs from 28.5 overs. They scored up until now at a rate at an average rate of about 2.85. Right now, their run rate is 3.16, and if you go by that, then already the game is out of reach. I mean, if they're not able to improve that run rate, they're not going to be able to get this total. The required run rate is 6.20. Um, and the last 5 overs, the run rate has been improving slightly. It's gone up to 4.4, but obviously they need to be scoring now a run a ball at least. So Jermaine, it's got a 30 right now off 63, and then the Dar's got a 4 off 7 balls. And we have a pacer back in attack. Another nick. That was that looked like an edge. Gone. Sidra Amin is out. The settled batswoman, the settled batter is gone. Again, against pace, they look scared. No movement of the feet. Nothing. I mean, feet were just planted, and she just threw the bat at the ball. And there's so much space between the bat and her legs. There was a bounce, but it really, it was an ordinary delivery. Again, like an off cutter. There's an ordinary delivery, a delivery that we should be able to leave, if anything. if you don't want to play it, why throw a bat at it? But that's what's going on here. So now Pakistan is in the 22nd over, 67 and off with a loss of four. We have Alia Riaz who just came in, and now we're basically looking down the tail end right after these two. So definitely in trouble. This game might end within the next 10 overs. So let's see what happens. Alia Riaz, she's a right-handed batter. She's 29 years old. She's an all-rounder. Her highest ODI score is 81. She's played many T20s also. And her highest score in T20 is 41. So, Alia, we're going to need you to play a little bit of that T20. Bring that T20 experience in because we need runs and we need them fast at this point if we're going to have a chance. So, Nidadar and Alia Riaz. Here we go. All right. Running tough singles. Ali is also off the mark now. She stopped the ball, ran a single on the other, and now really it's all Nidadar. We'll see where we're at. Yeah, Julin is bowling. She's bowling 65 miles per hour, and they're just Sanamir is commentating right now alongside Anjum Chopra, and Sanamir wants the women to play cool. I think they're already playing way too cool. That's the problem. It's just test cricket. We really got to change our approach here. Now, just Nida Dar's record real quick. So Nida's played a lot of cricket. She's got 84 matches under her belt for one day international. She's got 2,295 runs. And I'm sorry, that was her bowling. But her batting average is 18.16, but her highest score is 87. And she scored 1,290 runs in her 84 matches. And in T20, her highest score is 75, and she's played 108 T20 matches. So it's something. Her average is not that impressive, but she's played that stabilizer, power hitter kind of a role at times, both of those roles. So that's what's needed today. So those of us joining us now, we're 68 for 4. Pakistan's looking like they're in trouble. We're in the 23rd over. The target's 245, and we really are. A lot of times the shots that our players are playing are very basic shots. There's not a lot of innovation. There's not a lot of adapting to the bowlers, the style. There's not a lot of movement of the feet, and I think that's what's been costing us too much. Alia looks like she's in good touch. She's shown a little bit of the foot movement, which was missing in all of the other batters so far. Pakistan needs 175 more runs from 27.3 overs. I mean, anything is possible, but if they're gonna, I mean, they're stopping balls off the front foot. It's like not appropriate to what the situation demands. It's okay to stop a ball here and there, but we need to really play according to the situation. And Pakistan right now is not playing according to the situation, and that's you know making it more and more apparent every ball that we stop instead of running, because we need to run a ball at least, is just going to make it that much more difficult. I mean, they're it's like slow spinners, throwing Yorkers, and we're not able to put it away. There's movement in the pitch, though. The spinners are getting some turn here. So, credit where credit is due. India is bowling well. And right now we're at 70, and we've just lost another wicket. There we go. Nidadar is gone. And it's that very slow fast bowler, Goswami. Again, no feet movement. She swung at the ball way outside off stump, and wild swing, what looked like wild swing, and nicked it to the keeper. Gone. This game over, friends. I think at this point it's over. Yeah, just slashing at a ball that's so far. Timing is also not right. Um, you can't time someone who's not very pacey, and you're swinging at wildly at a ball that's so far wide off stump. You know, if you really, you could leave it if you wanted to leave it, but instead slashed at it and it's gone. So Pakistan's lost 5 wickets now, and Fatma Sana Khan is the next batter in at number 7. So numbers 6 and 7 are playing right now. It's not going to take us anywhere. Julin is the bowler, and she kind of reminds me of Saurav Ganguly, the way Ganguly used to throw these like slow, slow, medium pacers, but they were very effective. And Julin is doing the same thing here. Yes, and Pakistan is taking all of their chances right now, even though it's not working out for them. They're going straight for, quick singles, 71 for 5. They have no choice. They really need to keep the scorecard moving. That's what they have to do. Yeah, I mean, even the way the commentators are speaking about the Pakistani women, it sounds like everyone kind of just thinks that the quality's not there yet, and there's a lot of improvements to be made. So it's evident to even a non-expert that our women's cricket has a long way to go still. Right? We want to support them, of course, and at the same time, we should be honest about how far away we have to go, and it's quite far right now. It looks like our bowling unit did an okay job of constricting India to 245, because India I think only lost 7 wickets to reach that total. But in the batting, our effort is just not at all on par with what this level of cricket demands, and what other teams, quite frankly, can do. I mean, we've seen Australia play, England women's play, um, Indian women themselves have been very competitive. Australian women have been very competitive, and when you watch a Pakistan game, it's definitely not at the same level, especially as this game clearly demonstrates the score rate. The batting is just, we're not moving fast enough. We're playing like we're still playing in the nets, as if we have unlimited balls being pitched at us. We're in the nets. We just have to stop and push the ball around straight to the fielders. That's what's happening every single time there's contact between the batter and ball. The ball goes straight to a fielder. So, yes, the field placement, that means, is really good too, and the bowling is really good too. But at the same time, if that's happening 5 out of 6 balls every over, and just like in the last over, they gave a wicket away and only 2 runs came off of that over, you're not doing enough. You're not thinking enough. You're really just trying to survive, basically, is what's happening. It's as if our batters are just trying to survive. They're trying to see if they could just, you know, ride the wave, get through it, and it'll get better. But that's not how cricket works. It doesn't get better. It gets worse. You have to, you know, do whatever the situation demands, and if you don't do it, you're digging a hole deeper and deeper for yourself and for your team. That's the thing. It affects everybody. Like Javeria, what she did in the first 7 overs, coming in and taking 8 overs to get off the mark. Can you imagine in the eighth over, playing 7 overs and still sitting there at a zero? That's so unacceptable. I mean, that if anything reveals where Pakistan women's cricket is right now, it's that. But I say we take that as, you know, um, a point to learn from. Okay, this is showing us an area of need, especially in batting, and how to rotate the strike, how to keep the scoreboard moving, and that's what we have to work on. You know, so I'm sure our women will improve and learn from this experience. But right now, what's happening in the Pakistani team is not sufficient. This is not going to be enough. All right, so we've got a couple of runs here and there. Oh, good save. Alia is looking like she's in very good touch. 9 runs off 14 balls. There's a lot of running between the wickets. Alia is finding the gaps. She's playing very nicely on the long side, um, on the leg side. I mean, that's where she squeezed out a couple of her doubles. And this last, they ran three, so that was great. All right, so they still have, it's a spinner on right now, and they have a slip in place, and it's a good move because a lot of our batters just keep on slashing at balls that are way outside off stump. So if you see that happening, especially, you want to keep on throwing that carrot to see if the Blairs are going to keep on doing it. I hope they don't. Ali and Fatima are on. Fatima's sitting on one. Ali is on nine. Another single brings the Pakistani total to 78 for five. And we're halfway through the game, or the innings rather. 25 overs and 25 more overs to go. So if this scores 78 in 25, there's no way that in the remaining 25 overs they're going to be able to get to 245. You know, batting second was probably also not it didn't work to Pakistan's advantage. Pakistan needs 167 in 25 overs. It's only possible if we play like T20, but I don't see that happening. Take a quick drink break. Julian is back. She's taken 2 wickets already on her off cutter delivery. She gets a little bit of this movement that she makes the ball move away from like an outswinger, and those are the two balls that she got the batters out on because they slashed at it, it moved away, it was moving away very slowly, and they slashed at it, and it was caught behind. So 2 balls, no runs, and Julian for these 2 balls actually is bowled straight at the wicket. So that's what I'm noticing. When the ball is straight at the wicket, right when our batters are in line, they stop instead of smashing it somewhere. You don't have to stop, and even when you stop the ball, you don't have to stop it straight back to the bowler. They're playing straight to the bowler, which is what I don't understand. Like drive, you know, off on drives, move the ball around a little bit, but they're playing it straight to the bowler, even when they stop. I mean, low full toss again played right back to the fielder. Yeah, and our batters are just constantly missing. They just can't time the ball. She's got that this uh, bowler Julin. She's got a really nice. She gets the movement off the pitch really well and very consistently. Those outswingers are constant. She's throwing them regularly, and it's like so slow. You could see it at least on TV. It looks like you could see it from a mile away, but she's produced a few wickets because of that. Very nice. So that's where we're at. 1 run off this over. One. Complete opposite of what the situation demands. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us, Pakistan's in trouble. India's all over Pakistan right now. And it's looking like this game is going to go to India. I think it's all but settled at this point. We're 26 overs in, and we need more than 120. The run rate, the asking run rate is over 6, you know, and we're sitting at 79 for 5. So, not looking good. And Pakistani batters are not able to fire. They have not been able to turn it on at all. In any sense of the word, they have not been able to turn it on. They're playing very slow cricket. Even test cricket is faster than this. But right now, both our batters, um, can only run singles. They don't seem to be able to create boundaries right now. There is a spinner in the Indian attack right now, and there's also a medium pacer, a very slow medium pacer. And there's some movement in the pitch. The spinners are getting really good turn, and the medium pacer was throwing lots of outswingers, and both have produced breakthroughs from India. Deepti, I believe, has gotten one wicket. Julian has gotten two. Julian's that medium pacer, and we have Alia sitting on 10 and Fatima on 4 for Pakistan. So uh, in this over, they're looking a little bit more comfortable against the spinner, but a little bit of pace from the other bowler is seems to be troubling our batters. Our batters have looked uncomfortable across the board here, but they certainly look like they could do better, or they could at least keep the scoreboard ticking if there's a spinner on in front of them. So that's where we're at. I think India will be looking for a wicket here. Pakistan is sitting at 83 for 5 in the 27th over. India needs a couple of wickets, and then it's certain that they'll be the winners. So they're just looking for that. And Pakistan needs to really step up their striking here. They need a lot of runs right now, and they're very far behind. And they need a little bit of that T20 cricket magic, which again is why I'm thinking, hey, Krishna, welcome, man. Congrats. If I guess by your name, you may be supporting Team India, and congrats. I think your team is doing really well. India is doing really great. Great bowling. I mean, they haven't let the Pakistani batters do much of anything at all. So here we are at the end of the 27th over, and we're looking at 83 for 5. So far away from 245. It's looking like a mammoth total because we're scoring only 2 to 3 runs and over. And, that's the opposite of what's required. Required run rate is now climbed up to 7.05. So, it's only going to go up from here. And our batters just can't score at that rate. It's just unlikely. It is highly unlikely that Pakistan gets out of this. Just checking out some other details here. Looking up some stats for Fatima Sana and Alia Riaz. So Fatima Sana, her highest score in one day internationals is 28 and 24 in T20s. Alia Riaz, her high score is 81 in ODIs and 41 in T20s. So Alia does have potential of taking this game somewhere, it looks like, if we go by her record. But she's going to need a lot of help because, you know, we need 7 and over. And India has these spinners and these medium pacers on that are not letting Pakistan score at all. And it doesn't help that the Pakistani batters can't find the gaps very often. This is another interesting thing about this. Like our women are fit. They look like they're in great shape, and you know they have that part down. But it's just about skills, skills and game sense. Those are two areas that I'm thinking, you know, we need a lot of help in. And in terms of batting, the skills are clearly there's a lot of footwork help needed. How to, maintain balance. Some of the shots played on the front foot uh, are good, but back foot playing across lines, you know, creating shots that aren't there, none of that is happening, you know. And then when you're in a situation like this one where you have to create, you know, you have to create new opportunities for scoring, you have to move around a little bit, you have to try new things out, and our batters don't seem to have enough in their toolbox to know what else they can do in this kind of a situation, or for this bowler. Like our, for example, you know, they were when they're struggling, for example, with one of the Pacers, and they should maybe step back in to play because they're playing late. So they could take a small step inward toward the stumps, deeper in the crease, or if they want to get closer to the pitch of the ball, they could take a step out of the crease and stand a little bit down the pitch and get closer to the ball when it's low. Because if the ball is rising for you, and we've lost like 3 wickets slashing at these rising off cutters or whatever and outswingers, then move up a little bit, take a step forward, and try to get closer to try to turn the ball into a fuller delivery. But things like that, it's just like our women are stuck in like whatever the technical stance is, and they can't get out of that to adapt to the situation. And that's what I'm noticing the most. I feel like a lot of work has to be done, kind of freeing them up. They have to be freed up, like they have to be. It feels like they don't have the confidence to just go out there and play a natural game. So they're playing a very technical game, and sometimes it's nice to focus on the fundamentals, but if you play cricket, uh, sometimes just using basics and you don't adapt, then the performance is going to be very basic, right? And that's what we're seeing. Our girls are not able to really find the gaps at all. And there seems to be a little bit of frustration out there now. I mean, they're trying to they need to run a ball, and they're gonna have to run really hard. But the girls are not happy with not running a run. But there really wasn't a run there, so it's it's not good. So Pakistan right now is at 86 for 5, and the game is looking like it's completely and fully in India's court. India is looking like they are in a very strong position to win this one. The 30th over is about to begin, and we're 86 for 5. What we're going to do here is wrap up. This game is looking like it's going to go India's way. At the end, may the best team win. There's a call for stumping, by the way, but it looked safe, but they're going upstairs to review. But we're going to wrap up here because one or two more wickets falling for Pakistan, it's game over. And Pakistan doesn't really have anyone left besides maybe Diana to come in and, you know, um, pick up the pace on getting these runs, which at this stage it's going to be really difficult. Even if Diana comes in and she's in good touch and she can, score a few boundaries, it's not going to be enough. All right. So thanks to everybody who joined us. We'll talk more about this in our full episode at Crickellectuals Podcast. Make sure you subscribe if you love Pakistan cricket, and come listen to our podcast as well, where we go deeper into our analyses and what we notice, and we talk about everything related to Pakistan cricket. So come by, listen to us at your favorite podcast platforms. Um, we can be found at Crickellectuals. You can follow us on Twitter as well. And of course, here on YouTube, we put out new content weekly. So, on that note, the stumping call is a fluke. The batter is safe. Pakistan remains 86 for 5 um, in the 29th, in the 30th over. So, on that note, may the best team win in the end. And until next time, it's your host, Jay, signing out. Peace.